Alright, I am Tahuti Kepura Iteru. Now this video right here, I want to deal with health from an occult perspective. I want to give you an occult perspective of what health is right here. So now take a look at this right here. So as you see, this is a modern operating room right here, right, where, you know, a modern operating room where surgeons would operate on their patient right here. So now I want to deal with health right here. So I want to deal with this. So now, from an occult perspective, again, as I mentioned in the video previously, is that the occultist understands that this is the realm of cause and effect, and that the physical plane is the realm of the effect, and the cause was a higher cause from a higher realm, so to speak, and the way in which you would access that, or access the cause, or to really fight the cause, was the mind, because all is mind, universe is mental. So the way they would access is from the mind, and it's when they deal with magic and mysticism. So now the ancient understood that certain diseases were merely symptoms of a higher cause, and the real cause was in the mind, and the only solution was through the mind. Now the mainstream scientists, the modern day scientists now, they deal with symptoms. So what they try to do is address the symptoms, you see. And what they would do now is they would document this. That's why their science is it seems so expansive. They got so many books. You might say, why are there so many books? And the whole thing with health, it's not that deep, but we're going to go into that. It's not actually that deep, but when he's got so many books and it's got many different words, the tuberculosis and all these different words and all these different definitions, and, you know, syphilis and all these different things, all these different words and meanings and definitions and all this. You think, why does he have all this? Because what he's dealing with is the symptoms, right? So he's just giving names to the symptoms, giving names to them, giving them names, definitions, but really it's not that deep. So I want to break this down to you. So the occultist would understand that the higher cause was from, you know, dealing with the mind. So that's why acupuncture comes in and all these different things will come in. So let me break this down to you. Let me give you an example right here. We're going to go deep into this too, but I want to start the video off. I want to give you an example right here. So now, if you had a waterfall that was a regular waterfall that's been flowing for years, been flowing, then suddenly that waterfall was blocked, right? But the waterfall flows down and it runs down a lake, it runs down a stream, and it creates a type of lake, right? A type of stream. So now, right, a type of river, so to speak, a type of river. So now let's say the waterfall was blocked, right? So the waterfall is blocked, and the water now is flowing down the stream, and the stream just stops flowing now. And then you see the place in which the stream used to flow. You start seeing these moss, you start seeing this greenery and this certain type of frogs and just all these different creatures just forming. You see all this moss, this greenery, and flies start coming. Now what would be the smart thing to do? Would you then look at the lake and start documenting the moss and giving the moss definitions and putting the moss in books, and, you know what I'm saying? Would you do that though? Would you start putting the moss in books and start defining the moss, and, you know what I'm saying, looking at the lake, and just what would be the smart thing to do? You see what I'm saying? Would the smart thing to do to look at the moss and start documenting the moss and documenting all these different creatures that are forming in the lake, in the newly regressed or lake that is no longer flowing? Or would you then address the blockage in the waterfall? Which would be the smart thing to do? And that's what mainstream science do. They're addressing the moss. They're creating definitions for the moss, definitions for the creatures, and documenting the creatures, documenting the symptoms of the blocked waterfall. But the ancients understood it's the blocked waterfall. So let's have a look at how we're going to unblock this waterfall. Don't worry about what's flowing down, what's now forming in this river, what's now forming. Don't worry about that. That's just the symptom of the blocked waterfall. Let's worry about how we're going to unblock this waterfall. So the ancients would attempt to unblock the waterfall. You see what I'm saying? That's what the ancients would do, right? You see what I'm saying? They were that more intelligent to understand that we're not ever going to deal with what's in the stream. We're going to try to unblock this waterfall. You see what I'm saying? That's what they were more advanced in that, right? But then at the same time now, in some cases, unblocking the waterfall isn't as easy. So in some cases, it may work both ways. That you may unblock the waterfall, but you may still see some blockages. And that's where other aspects will come in. So see, for example, a lot of the tools that you see For example, in this picture you can see, but in a lot of the tools that the surgeons use, the ancients also had. The Egyptians also had these tools. Again, you see it on the walls. You see them dealing with Imhotep and things of that nature. They had these tools. But again, they understood it was the last resort. You see what I'm saying? They understood we got to unblock the waterfall first. And then if anything else remains, then we'll go inside and then we'll use the tools and then things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? So that was the basis of health, the true science of health. That was the true science, dealing with the causes rather than the effect, rather than the symptoms. You see what I'm saying? So now another aspect, so again, that's why it's not that deep. You see what I'm saying? You might say, why didn't the Egyptians and all these different ancient cultures, why didn't they have all these books dealing with all these definitions and all these different terms and words? And why didn't they have that? Because they knew it weren't that serious. We're not really going to address those. We're going to address the causes. You see what I'm saying? So they had spells, they had this, they had that. That's what they had because they knew we got to address the causes. You see what I'm saying? And whatever comes after that, then we'll deal with it. So now I want to go to the other aspect of health now. So now the other aspect of health now, you may often hear the term health and fitness, right? Health and fitness. You see what I'm saying? And now we're dealing with diet now. We're dealing with exercise. I want to deal with this right here. So now this may offend some people. This may offend some people. But this is occultism right here. This is occultism. This may offend some people. We got to deal with this. So now, health and fitness is actually an oxymoron. It's actually an oxymoron. It's a contradiction. Health and fitness, they're not the same thing. Health and fitness is actually not the same thing. Health, you're dealing with the circulatory system, the respiratory system, right? Dealing with the lungs and things of that nature, right? And also the brain, but mainly the heart though. Mainly the heart. That's where your health even comes from. But fitness is not the same thing. Now, I've studied fitness. You see what I'm saying? I've dealt with fitness. So let me break this thing down to you. Modern day fitness is about destruction of the body. That's what modern day fitness is. The modern day fitness is built on destruction and rebuild. Destroy and rebuild. That's what modern day fitness is built on. But fitness is not about destruction. That's why it's an oxymoron. Health and fitness, when it's not the same thing. Modern day fitness, modern day building the body or bodybuilding or whatever, it's based on destroying so that way it can then rebuild. That's literally what it's built on. We're going to go in the gym for an hour and destroy our bodies, and then we're going to recover and then we're going to rebuild. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's based on. It's not got nothing to do with health. In most cases, it's actually unhealthy. You see what I'm saying? When you go deep into the psychology and things of that nature, it's actually unhealthy. You see what I'm saying? You got to eat more calories. You got to consume more food now to maintain the bigger mass, the more mass. So actually, it's got nothing to do with health. You see what I'm saying? It's got nothing to do with health, and that's going to offend some people. But that's the ultimate reality. It's about destroying the body. You see what I'm saying? So then it can rebuild bigger and rebuild stronger. But your aim is to destroy it. That's your aim. So it's got nothing to do with health. You see what I'm saying? You see, that's the whole thing with health and fitness, right? But now another thing what it deals with health now, as it pertains to food now, we're going to deal with this. So again, when it comes to foods now, it's not that, that's another thing that's not that deep. And a lot of people, they deal with it, Dr. Sebi and things of that nature. It's not that deep when it comes to food. You see what I'm saying? It's not that deep. You might say again, why didn't the ancients have all these descriptive terms and all these descriptive terminologies for different foods like glucose and sucrose and fructose? Why didn't they have all these different terms and definitions? Where are the books on this? You got to understand. What mainstream science are doing now, they're creating definitions for foods that they're creating. You see what I'm saying? They're creating new definition of foods that they're creating. In the ancient world, they wouldn't have had all these different foods that we have now, all these processed foods. All they would have had was dealing with the fruits and the fructose, dealing with the fruits, the natural occurring sugars. A lot of your health problems, right, occur from these processed foods, these not so naturally occurring sugars. That's where your health problems even come from. You see, that's where it gets deep. That's where it even comes from. You see, so it's the health is really not that deep. The health really comes. Your health problems comes from the foods that are processed, that aren't natural foods. So in so many words, the modern man is creating his own diseases. In so many words, he's creating the foods, the unnatural foods that cause the diseases. He's creating his own diseases, and then he's documented the diseases, documented the sugars, documented all these different things when he's creating his own problems. So we're looking at two different realms of health, two different realms right here. of an advanced people to a people of today. Well, they create these people of today now. They're creating their own diseases. They're creating their own problems. You see what I'm saying? But the ancients were more advanced than that, and they dealt with the causes as opposed to the symptoms. You see what I'm saying? So again, it wasn't that deep for them. You see what I'm saying? Yes, I'm saying again. Just a quick video right here dealing with health, dealing with the occult. You know what I'm saying? The occult significance of health and what does health mean to an occultist right here. So again, just a quick video right here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it's some good information. It's alright, people. Thanks for watching.